What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens.
First mistake Zelensky did is asking him in public such a confrontational question. You know, like, what kind of diplomacy are you talking about here? What kind of diplomacy? You know, in front of everybody. You know, try to moving the narrative from let's do a deal to we can't do a deal until, right?
Is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems.
Lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning. Let me see. Well, that was pretty much his point. Let's start from the beginning. Let me lecture you about the first question. Then I'm gonna tell you about the second one, and probably finally, I'm gonna lecture you about the third one, about if it wasn't disrespectful or not. You know, you can imagine if they let him go, like how long this guy actually was gonna try to lecture him. Fortunately, Trump doesn't fucking get this shit. You know, like. It's either his way or the highway, buddy, and you already fucking accorded. You already agreed. You were there to fucking sign a deal. Not to try to tell the president in front of everybody that he was wrong and you were right. And try to judge his diplomacy when you're trying to be so confrontational. Then you just fucking lost your cards.
Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
Next mistake. In front of Trump. Very strong personality. Oh, you don't feel it right now, but you are going to feel it. He's trying to play with the American public right there. He's trying to create panic, you know, like, oh shit. War is coming to us, you know. If we don't fucking end this shit, that's what he wants with that statement right there, and therefore, unlimited support, special military support. But if this guy actually got away with it, we're talking about close to a World War III here.
God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very good and very strong. You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save.
Listen what J.D. Vance just said right there. Listen, because all of this is in the context that this guy Zelensky went into Washington. He campaigned for the opposition. Okay? And Trump didn't forget that. Zelensky it's already not in a good position, and he wants to come to Washington to lecture the president. This president, which is maybe the strongest personality in all of the presidents of the United States up to now.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big...
Now, Zelensky probably didn't want to say it loudly, because he doesn't speak proper English. He probably wanted to use another word like if you speak in such a manner, or if you speak overreacting, or if you speak, something like that. But and Trump shut him off right now. He's not speaking loudly because Trump got it like Zelensky was saying, "Oh, you think because you're raising your voice," kind of thing. So Trump was like, he's not raising his voice. And then after, let's see what happened. You're doing a lot of talking here. That's what happened.
Big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this.
I know.
You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is how.
Another thing, make fun of him. Trump doesn't like to get contradicted, especially in public, especially on his face, and that's exactly what Zelensky did. In 3 days, no problem, in 3 days. Oh, yeah. Okay, suka, in 3 days, I heard from Putin. And he's criticizing Trump's diplomacy, and it's just fucking hilarious to watch. This guy was a comedian, right? It's because it's fucking entertaining as fuck, man. It's fucking hilarious shit, man.
Maybe less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again, just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us.
And he tries to keep talking over the president. Not gonna work. At this point, you have to shut the fuck up and try to act a little diplomatic. You're still trying to manipulate the narrative and say, no, look, this is not the way. Look, let me tell you the way it is. And Trump keeps shutting you the fuck off. Buddy, what are you doing?
I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire.
See, yeah, Trump is so mad right now. He's, I want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. At this point, bro, fuck, man. And the funny thing is, he started talking shit about the diplomacy.
I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make.
That hurt Zelensky's ego as fuck. Zelensky thought he probably was gonna play Netanyahu against Obama back then in Congress, kind of same way he was, and he was gonna receive a stand-up innovation kind of thing, and all the media just rolling up on him. No. Shit went sideways real hard for you, bro. And I feel sorry for Ukrainians, actually, because like one guy's mistake is literally an entire country suffering. This guy was more skillful, you know, if he took into consideration that these negotiations really depended on lives of his country, and you know, I would have thought probably all night about how to do it, how to act against Trump in the media, how to put him probably against the wall the way he wanted to do it, but in a good way, right?
Because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
Well, what if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke
At this point, Donald Trump was fucking hell of a mad, bro. What if a fucking bomb drops on your
Biden, they
fucking
didn't
head
respect
right
him.
now?
They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said,
Zelensky's face right now.
The laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this, he might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened, but he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy, and I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States, and your people are very brave, but you're either going to make a deal or we're out, and if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks.
I need the back of
We'll see the negotiation. And he's coming down to try to change the narrative, to try to tell the president of the United States and his ally, which happens to doesn't like him too much, try to tell him why he's wrong and why he's so right.
All right, so you just heard there that
he's trying to manipulate
joint
pretty much the narrative.
Conference that was held inside
It's
of the
not
Oval
working.
Office, and then
Not
moments
working.
ago, take a look at this video that we just got in from outside of the White House, as you're going to see there Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky exiting. Now that we know that that joint news conference that was set to happen later on today between both of those world leaders has effectively been canceled. It remains to be seen what is going to happen going forward here between the negotiations of the United States and Ukraine. It may be possible that later on today we are going to get some remarks